You've heard the phrase, never judge a book by its cover. So often we judge something or someone without having a full disclosure on whom or what is being introduced to us. We start to think of the worst case scenario due to the previous trauma or bad experiences, and we can put that in a melting pot of our unhinged imagination. First, we must ask ourselves, do we have a right to judge? Should we judge? Welcome to BibleTube, your daily bread to chew on for the week. And for today's topic, we're going to talk about judgment. 1 Corinthians 6 verse 12 reads, "Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial." In another version, it also reads, "I have the right to do everything and anything, but not everything is constructive." It also states the same thing in 1 Corinthians 10 verse 23. Both statement says and starts off with, "You have the right to do everything and anything." So yes, it is in your power to have the right to do anything and everything. But it also proceeds with caution. Is everything you're doing or going to do going to be constructive or build someone up? Let alone give glory and honor to the Father. But it's going to cost you.
You gonna pay what you owe, man. You gonna pay what you...
Matthew chapter 7 verse 1 reads, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be used against you." Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, "Let me take the speck out of your eye," when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite. First, take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. The Bible states that there's a measure to be used, and however you choose to use that measure against other people, that same exact measure will be used towards you. So you gotta be careful on how you measure someone. Why do we judge? We can quickly pass judgment on someone, but we fail to see our own shortcomings. Sometimes it's based on comparison of status, how we look, how we live, living standards, situations, expenses. On a spiritual note, it can be how spiritual an individual look compared to how unspiritual we may look, which leads to another sin, envy, wanting something that someone else has. It's not evil to make assessments. We make decisions in our everyday lives, school, work, planning, you name it. But the problem is when you start to tiptoe into the danger zone of deconstructing that individual. There is a way of measuring someone on qualities that they can improve on. Measurements based on how responsible a person is, loyalty, and a person's character, so forth. And these are things that people can grow in, whether they have these attributes or not. And if they don't, what are you simply doing to help that person to grow in these attributes?
I don't know.
And we all do it. We all judge people. We all judge things. We cannot say that we don't judge because we do it without even knowing that we're doing it. And it's funny when you think about it because Jesus picked disciples that weren't exactly disciple material. You had from fishermen, you had a tax collector, you had an accountant, you had a zealot, and so forth and so forth. So in other words, Jesus didn't handpick these guys out of their strengths, but more of their shortcomings. These unschooled ordinary men were judgmental of one another. Romans 14 verse 1 states that we must accept one another, especially those whose faith are weak. And we gotta really ask ourselves, when we see someone that is weaker than us, do we automatically dismiss them? I'm tempted to think that way. Romans 12 verse 3 says that we must think of ourselves with sober judgment, and that we not think of ourselves more highly than we ought. We might think that we're better than other people, but last I checked, we all came from the same creator, and we were all made in the same image. And finally, in Galatians 6 verse 4, it states that we should take pride in our own actions so that we do not compare ourselves to someone else. My challenge for you guys is to don't be so quick to judge others. think of yourself with sober judgment and really ask yourself, is what I'm gonna do gonna help build someone up? I'm gonna call you guys to study the Bible. Really take some time with some friends to really understand what it means to make righteous decisions and righteous judgment. In case you have any questions or concerns, you can also message me on the group chat, and I'll be more than welcome, happy to answer those questions, and actually even get involved in a Bible study with you. Oh yeah, also want to give a shout out and just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We have a few more new subscribers that have just joined on in. You guys are awesome, amazing. All to my anime fans out there, you know who you are. You know who you are. But I'm Mr. Lewis, and that is all for today. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe. We are also on Spotify as well, and stay tuned for some more videos. And remember out there, guys, let's stay biblical.